I met this 15-year-old kid that is literally making more than a doctor does in a year. And all he does is wrap cars. Wish.com is valued at over $11 billion. It just blows my mind because I never would expect that shitty of an app to be worth that much. I'm going to explain what that Peter Schuchowicza, or whatever his name is, did to become a billionaire with the simplest app ever. There are teenage millionaires popping up left, right, and center claiming that they do e-commerce or dropshipping, and we'll get into that as well. There are literally people dancing on TikTok becoming millionaires. Anyways, the point I'm just trying to get across here is all of these people understand one thing that you don't, and this one thing will literally change your life and everything that you think about. You will think about every single thing in the world differently after you understand this one thing. And that one thing is leverage. There are 4 main types of leverage that you need to know about. These are literally the 4 cheat codes to becoming a millionaire, or at least making a lot of money. The first of those 4 is the leverage of labor. And this 15-year-old kid that I met the other day understands this very, very well. He came across the opportunity that people are wanting to wrap their cars. Not gonna lie, I have a wrap on my car. I love it. It is definitely a really good product to sell. The people that wrap these cars charge between $2,000 to even $10,000 per wrap on a car. So this 15-year-old kid realized that he can make a few $1,000s by wrapping one car. Usually takes him a day or so. And he started doing this business himself. He was getting clients, offering them that he'll wrap their car for a couple $1,000s, and then he started to raise his price. But then he got to this point where he could only take care of one client per day. And that means he could only make a few $1,000s per day. And that's if he has a client. So in order to scale, he needed to understand this one thing: the leverage of labor. If he had multiple clients in a day, there's no way that he could finish all of those projects. The leverage of labor lets you bend time and allow you to stack other people's time and energy. So let's say he has 3 projects at $2,000 each. That's $6,000 in revenue, but he can't do that without anybody else's help. So he takes that $6,000, then he goes and finds 2 other guys. He pays them $100 a day or whatever minimum wage is to wrap these cars and leverages their time and keeps the money in between. That's how you can literally start any service-based business and scale extremely high and extremely fast. Above the leverage of labor is the leverage of capital. This is one form of leverage that I've gotten really good at using early on, and it's because I am in e-commerce. With e-commerce, you're selling products online, and the more money that you spend on advertising, essentially the more products you will sell. So for every single dollar you spend, you get more revenue back, and you just keep the spread in between. The more money that I would spend, the more money that I would make back. So I had to get my hands on as much money as possible to spend on this business. So as soon as I saw this business working for me, I got my hands on as many credit cards as possible. I borrowed a credit card from my dad. I borrowed a credit card from my mom. I signed up for 2 credit cards myself, and I basically spent all of that credit card limit on advertising to scale this business as high as possible and make more revenue that I'm spending. The next form of leverage above the leverage of capital is the leverage of media. As I mentioned before in this video, people are literally becoming millionaires by dancing online. They use the leverage of media and posting media on social platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all across the internet to gain a following. Now, I want you to look at a following like real estate. So let's say you have a shopping mall that has 50 storefronts in it. That means you can lease your shopping mall to all of these businesses so that they can use your shopping mall for foot traffic. And they put their business in front of the thousands of people that walk through your shopping mall. It is basically the same thing as when a TikTok dancer is dancing and growing this gigantic following. They got so much more foot traffic coming through their profile and so many more eyes on them that they can lease this audience to other businesses. So businesses will pay them thousands of dollars, even millions of dollars, just to be on their platform that they've created. I like to look at every single follower as an acre of land, basically digital real estate. The leverage of media is getting more and more powerful, and I believe it's one of the most powerful forms of leverage till this day. Almost every single business will have to depend on a form of media. There is no other way to get enough exposure to your business other than putting your business out there on social media and gaining an audience. And the 4th and most powerful form of leverage at the top of the pyramid is the leverage of code. Wish.com is a $11 billion business. And it blows my mind because I never knew that they were worth this much until I looked this up online. But the reason why I brought Wish.com up as an example of the leverage of code is because they do it so damn well. If you know about the website AliExpress, and a lot of people that are in e-commerce understand what AliExpress is, almost every single product that you shop for, whether it's Lululemon, Nike, any major brand that you shop for in North America, it's usually from some form of Alibaba or AliExpress. It's always from these manufacturers in China. This is the opportunity that the founder of Wish came across and decided to use the leverage of code. Peter Zaltsuitsky, whatever his name is, came across this opportunity where all of the products that we shop for in person are usually from AliExpress or a form of AliExpress anyways. But the reason why people don't buy it straight from AliExpress is because AliExpress doesn't have that trust factor and doesn't have that branded feeling to present a higher perceived value for these products. So what he did was he made a new platform called Wish.com that is a lot more shoppable and a lot more attractive to the North American society. And all he did was take every single merchant and every single seller from AliExpress and put them on the Wish.com site and brought as many visitors as possible to Wish.com site for a 17% commission off of every single sale that was made to these merchants on his website. So he's basically a code middleman. And this is actually a term that I use all the time with my team because now that I know about all of these forms of leverage, every single time I think about a service or think about some kind of a business model, I always think about how can I become a code middleman. And as you can see, Wish.com is worth $11 billion to this day. So the moral of the story is you need to understand what leverage is. You need to go back through this video and really understand what each of these forms of leverage does and how you can take advantage of these forms of leverage. The reason why I got into e-commerce myself is because it takes advantage of multiple forms of leverage. It takes advantage of code by using Shopify, which is a done-for-you website that you can take transactions in and you can basically get as many visitors as you want to this one website and make as many purchases at once on this website. It's just one piece of code that does all of the work that a storefront or a retail store that you would walk into does. Leverage of capital. So once you understand that your e-commerce business is selling and it's successfully verified that a product is actually wanted by the customers, all you have to do is advertise this product as much as possible. And how you advertise this is you spend as much money on advertising as possible because you know you're going to get more revenue back. Once you understand this, you're going to want to use other people's capital, so credit cards, even loans, so that you can spend as much money as possible to make as much revenue back. It takes advantage of the leverage of labor because there are so many different services out there. There are 3PL services, there are customer service representatives. All of these things are forms of leveraging labor. There's no possible way I could do all of these things within the e-commerce business myself. But luckily, there are so many tools out there like 3PL fulfillment centers, customer service agents, virtual assistants. I'm basically leveraging these people's time and energy in order to scale my business further. E-commerce even uses a form of leverage media where we want to build an audience through advertising and posting on social media to get as much exposure and as much eyes on us as possible, where we're building our own piece of digital real estate, which is basically a digital mall. The more foot traffic through your store, the more revenue is produced. I took advantage of all of these forms of leverage and produced over $300,000 in just 1 month. Right in the beginning, when TikTok started getting a lot of hype, I started scrolling the For You page and I came across all of these videos that were showing a galaxy shining all over people's ceilings. So it got me thinking, I kind of want one of these. I looked it up on Amazon. It was nowhere to be found. So it got me thinking, this product is going so viral. Why don't I look and try to sell this myself? So I went to AliExpress. I went to see how much I can get this product as a wholesale price per unit, and I discovered that I could get it for around $20 per unit. From there, I instantly went to Shopify.com. I created a website storefront within 45 minutes to an hour, and then I ordered one of these products to my house to film TikTok videos to leverage media. Now at that point, I went to TikTok ads and promoted all of those videos with TikTok ads. So that's when I was leveraging capital. I was spending money on advertising to get revenue back. As soon as I started to see that the product was selling very, very well, all I did was up the ad spend. So I just pumped more dollars into the advertising and got more revenue back. Eventually, I scaled this business to $300,000 a month. And I didn't do this by just scaling on TikTok. I hired out more things. I got the fulfillment hired out, so people were shipping the product to the customers for me. I got the customer service taken care of, and I scaled to multiple forms of media. So I went to Facebook, I went to TikTok, I went to Snapchat, and I scaled as high as I can through all of these forms of media. And that's how these 4 forms of leverage changed my life, and I hope you understand leverage and it changes yours as well. If you found value from this video, like, comment, and subscribe below, and I'll be choosing a winner from the comment section to enroll into my Velocity Incubator, where I'll be teaching you exactly how I build these e-commerce businesses and potentially build an e-commerce business with you.